Hello there, Trent. Spanish Man Child here, coming at you with another MTG video for you guys today. And today we're going to play some Smark Golgari, aka Carvatech, or Carver Rect, rather. This is a really cool deck that I've been very excited to showcase on the channel ever since I saw the finals of or the top 8 rather, of the Mythic Championship. This is one of the coolest decks from the Mythic Championship. It was built by Carvatech was his name? Kavartek. I think it's Kavartek. Chris Kavartek is actually a regular player who has managed to qualify for the World Championship. He's like one of those stories of the up-and-coming players who basically got brought up via Arena. Like, he has been able to qualify back-to-back for the Mythic Championships through the Mythic Championship qualifier, and has done extremely well every single time. He had an insane record in day 1 and day 2 to reach the top 8, but then unfortunately did fall down to Andrea Mingucci and to Brad Nelson in the winners and losers bracket of the quarterfinals. So he kind of fell short, wasn't able to move onwards, but he had some really close games in those cases, and this deck I think could definitely have gone all the way. I did think he misplayed a little bit. It's obviously very easy for me to point out, in hindsight, but a lot of people, pointed out that he did misplay a bit in his matchup against Brad Nelson in game 3, or no, I believe it was game 2, and that could have cost him the series. Regardless, like, super amazing performance and a really cool deck, which is pretty much, or was basically, one of the very few aggro decks in said Mythic Championship. But one of the key things about this is that, yes, as many aggro decks do run, we are seeing the Rotten Regisaur package, but we're seeing it alongside Golgari Adventure. We tend to see Rotten Regisaur mainly in Mardu or Rakdos aggro builds. In Golgari, he's less common, as some of the more common or more popular variants of Golgari Adventure that we saw in the event were decks built around Lucky Clover, which didn't end up so lucky after all. Those actually performed really poorly. And just regular Golgari Adventure, but without this sort of tactic, because what this deck is trying to do is it's trying to capitalize on the Edgewall Innkeeper engine with a bunch of very good adventure creatures such as Falmar Knight, Murderous Rider, and Lovestruck Beast, alongside a couple of Order of Midnight. But then it's packing 4 copies of Rotten Regisaur with 4 copies of Vivian Arcbow Ranger. I don't know about you, but this is the first time that I see 4 of Vivian in a non-like mono green Stompy deck, because she has a very expensive, or very specific triple green mana requirement to be cast, right? But Chris just slapped her onto this deck, and she is amazing if you follow up a turn 3 Rotten Regisaur with her, as you can give Rotten Regisaur Trample, or her -3 can be incredibly useful in aggro mirror matches. And then we have 3 copies of the Great Henge. The Great Henge is very strong with Rotten Regisaur for obvious reasons. We're able to cast this for 2 mana if on turn 4, if we are, which is basically a free play, because then we tap this for 2 mana. So if we have Rotten Regisaur turn 3, turn 4, we technically get this on the board for free, and we're able to just go crazy onwards. It's a very, very powerful turn 4 play that can be absolutely game winning, especially against slower decks, as it ensures that we just do not run out of gas. So this deck is trading Embercleave, that such decks such as Gruul and Rakdos run for the Vivian and the Great Henge core. And I think, honestly, I prefer this. Even though Embercleave is a really strong card, a good player can play around it really well. You can see it coming, and it is easier to disrupt, I believe, than this strategy right here. I'm very impressed with this deck. I had a lot of fun in the live session that I recorded for you guys today. I got some really dang games, and overall, just a really cool build that makes me enjoy a little bit of aggro. I don't tend to play much aggro, but if it's this type of aggro, I love it. I fucking love it, man. We have triple the rest, 2 Epic Downfalls, 2 Noxious Grasp, 1 Crawl Harpooner, triple Brontodon, double Ceratops, and double Casualties of War in the sideboard. which seems like a really solid sideboard, taking the metagame into consideration, though I would personally tweak some things here and there, considering how the metagame has advanced. I think Shifting Ceratops should probably be at least a 3 of in this meta, but obviously this was made prior to the event, and I'm not going to tweak the deck list until I have like actual good experience with it. I know what I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the games. Like I said, they're pretty good, and I will see you guys tomorrow with more. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the matches. I'll see you around. Cool deck though. Really cool deck, and bit of an awkward hand though. I'm gonna have to mulligan this. That is slightly more acceptable. I'm actually gonna drop the Order of Midnight, as weird as it sounds, but I want to have like double 1-drop enabled for my Lovestruck Beast. So the idea is we turn 1 human, we turn 2 Foulmire Knight, and we turn 3 Lovestruck Beast, and we just go face. We need 1 more green mana to enable Vivian, and we can get that to happen. It's gonna look really nice for that, for us. So let's go ahead and do that. Hello. I should probably attack him here. Offer him a trade. He will never accept. And then play the Foulmire Knight, which with that touch can threaten this Spell Collector. Though we could see a stomp happen here, but if that were to happen, then we just take 1 damage from that. Every ounce of damage that he takes, including Shocklands, we appreciate. Yeah, there's a stomp. Will he go face? He does. And we have a pretty straightforward turn here. But what seems to be a very, very nice turn for Vivian. Unless we lose our 1-drop here. That is so damn fine. That's Fabled Passage. Into a forest. Let's think here.
Civilization has crept too far. Tear it down. I'd get out of the way if I were you.
The bigger I make the Lovestruck Beast, the better. Obviously, we are somewhat vulnerable to an Embercleave. If my opponent drops a red mana, yeah, that's scary. Okay, never mind. So fortunate for us, Vivian will live. I will lose my 1/1 in the process. That's smart. I think I do want to trade with this, though, definitely. So I can Order of Midnight into another blocker here.
Get him.
Fucking get him! She's vulnerable to a stomp now, though. I am concerned about an Embercleave. That sucks. Embercleave is a problem, man. If I do that, I lose Lovestruck Beast and that, but I gotta call the bluff. I gotta call the bluff. I have to call the bluff. Yeah. Because I'm quite screwed anyways if this goes down. Like, that's just how it is. can't really like do anything about this right now. May as well drop this. That sucks, man. I have no answer. No answer whatsoever. I have to like let this go through. And I have to hope that I can I cry every time. It's crazy how one card can just flip the game around like that. Yep, that's over. As simple as that. Dead to Embercleave. Good card. All right, so let me look at my deck and see if there's. I mean, obviously Noxious Grasp comes in. Thrashing Brontodon, as it's a good blocker and it can destroy Embercleave. I would argue for Epic Downfall as well. Solid removal. I think Casualties of War may be a bit too slow. We have 4 Murderous Rider though. Like that's just. What do we take out for this though? Because we're packing a lot of stuff, and Lovestruck Beast is amazing against the aggro decks. Questing Beast is alright. It's pretty good, but we can drop one of these. We can drop one. And Great Henge is also pretty amazing because they don't really have good interaction with it. I'm gonna drop a couple of Paradise Druids. I could take out a couple of Edgewall Innkeepers. The Order of Midnight. One of these. I'm gonna go with this. I'm not super experienced sideboarding with this deck, but I feel like I need less, because Innkeepers are easy for him to answer. They're not good blockers either, so they can still be decent, but I don't think I need so many of them. I'm gonna keep this. For I can turn 1 Lovestruck Beast, turn 2 Temple of Milady, and then turn 3 Lovestruck Beast again. We have a lot of removal here, which is really nice. I do want to kill that because I deny card draw, and I can't have him. I can't have you know, Uncle Pete here just go crazy with the guess. I can't let that happen. One of the key ways to take down Gruul is to make them run out of gas, and I sacrifice a turn 3 play, but it's not like it matters too much since we get to do this again anyways. I don't think I need another Murderous Rider. Like, more lands would be appreciated at this point. I have enough removal. I'm attacking back. I have a nice blocker here, a 5/5, which is hard for him to overpower. He can't Embercleave me. So we effectively slow him down. I like that land there though. Especially because this enables me to play Brontodon. I'm gonna hold back a little bit. Even though I could start being aggressive, like this 5/5 attacking just trades with one of those anyways. I don't have to worry about Embercleave here, so I will be blocking with this if he wants to trade a Stomp with it. Like Growth, Collision Colossus, yeah, that also, that's alright. Alright, Embercleave is now enabled. I have 2 options. I could go Vivian and clear that. Which means you can't really set up an Embercleave. I like setting up Vivian.
My heart beats in unison with the wild. We're gonna tear you apart.
I'm gonna keep these as blockers. Play on the defensive. Go for value. But if I can play Vivian this turn, I will. We could see an Embercleave. Alright, or we could see that. Questing Beast is pretty solid here. I'm not going... I mean, I could block, honestly. This is my only answer to Embercleave, though. But I think I value Vivian more, right? Especially because if I draw into a land... I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna make this a 3/3.
Stomping time.
Which enables me to block into a like a Gruul Spellbreaker. And now I'll destroy that at instant speed. That's why we do that instant speed. I like seeing that land there because that enables me to epic downfall this. Set you up.
This'll be fun to watch.
And shut him down. I'm just replying to his GG. You know, I'm not about the premature GG. But if he wants a reason to get out of this, then by all means, I just need to do this.
This'll be fun to watch.
While we start smacking him. Keep that and the Murderous Rider enabled, and go to game 3, baby. All right, nice. Nice. What do we do here? What do we change? I think I like this game plan. Like we have more removal. Vivian is also really... It's a really strong like stall breaker. I'm gonna keep it like this. Even though now we're on the draw, which is obviously always scarier versus aggro. We have a lot of removal. We have big dudes, which Gruul struggles with, and their main win condition is Embercleave. Like, that's the card that I'm most afraid of. Well, that and, you know, the typical crazy Gruul curve that they sometimes get with turn 1 Pelt Collector into, like, turn 2 Druid, and then Pelt Collector into Gruul Spellbreaker. That actually happened to me in, like, the last video, and it's pretty nutty. But this is Gruul Adventure, so I'm not sure if they even... I've seen Pelt Collector, though, right? I've definitely seen that. There's no reason why we would never keep this. Aye. Let's go with this. Lady for lady. Doesn't opt to attack. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a Paradise Druid. If he wants to attack with the Knight, I will trade the 1/1 into the Knight. Gotta be mindful of Embercleave. He has 2 red mana, which means Embercleave is enabled. Play Milady's Temple. Can drop that down. We have Murderous Rider enabled. We also have the ability to play Lovestruck Beast. But I think I can handle this. The problem is if he has like an Embercleave. Embercleave makes things really awkward because I can't target this at instant speed. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that risk because that requires him to have a land and an Embercleave. And that's just if he enters the attack phase. Oh shit. Yep, he has it.
This is a big hit.
But I have seen bigger. I mean, no matter what I do, I have to take green mana. Embercleave takes like 3 mana to equip, so as long as I'm able to continuously answer these threats, I can crawl out of this. But I have to put the most amount of stats. I have to play for tempo. And I need a situation in which I can start playing Vivian. Alright.
Close your eyes, breathe, and listen to the sounds of the wild. My, how you've grown.
This is a thick fella. And he has like 5 mana enabled right now, so he can't play something like a Gruul Spellbreaker plus that. And even if he does, I have one hell of a blocker here. One hell of a blocker. And the Vivian, yeah, he has to like double up. Yeah, he has no choice here. And I got the Rider, baby. I got the motherfucking Rider. So I'm gonna bop this.
Watch out, they bite.
I should have killed this to prevent damage. All right, that kind of sucks. That's a good draw. Yeah, I should have killed the Bone Crusher Giant. So I can play this into a Murderous Rider. I think I prefer this line of play. The question is, how do I... Because he can give this to this. This is a 6/6, but I can still block it with this. I still take like 4 damage if it goes through that way. Because it tramples me. So I need to do this.
My, how you've grown.
I'm thinking here. Did I do it right? I'm doing like the math here. Like I think because if he attacks with this, okay, so let's just this deals that's double strike and trample. So it's gonna deal 4 damage if I block it with this. But then if I block you here, I take 2 damage here. I take 4 damage first. Then I take none first, and then I take 4 damage here. But these two happen at the same time. So I take 4. I heal up to 3. Yeah, I live. Oh! Oh! Alright. Okay, so we gotta play this. I'd rather go for the -3 on her. Or I could go for the +1 with these and then go for the -3 on that.
We're gonna tear you apart. From the smallest ant to the largest hydra, nature is beautiful. I'd get out of the way if I were you.
I think doing like this is the best choice. I really had to think about this, guys. Like, there's a lot to think about. Like that turn that played out in my head, like me living on 1 health. That's why I need to make sure that my, my math is not like bad. So I'm kind of focused here. But I go with the attack here. I preserve a 4/5 blocker because I survived the exchange with this, and I even survive.
You're lower than worms.
Okay, so that deals 3, 6. This is legendary, so unless that's like a growth something, I can trade that with that.
I'm made for conflicts like this.
Alright, I'm only gonna say GG when it's over. Ooh! Alright.
This'll be fun to watch.
I'm wide open to a... Hey! Hey! There we go. I was gonna say I was wide open to a haster, but at that point with the Great Henge, every time I would draw a creature, I would just go off. So, and I had like 3 health gain every turn. Like, even with Embercleave, I was pretty confident that we were gonna get out of that one. So we beat Embercleave. We fucking did it. That was actually tough, man. Embercleave is a scary card. Oh my lord, that was a good series though. That was really good. That was super tight. I had to like really think there. I had to really think. Like I normally don't have to think. Alright. I'm gonna keep turn 1 Innkeeper. Actually, no turn 1 Innkeeper. Scratch that. We're gonna go turn 1 Fabled Passage into a swamp, and then we're gonna Innkeeper. We're gonna go for this, get that swamp in there. I'm gonna take the cool swamp though, the one from War of the Spark. There we go. Tap matching lands, of course. And this Death Touch is really gonna come in handy versus this, what seems to be an aggressive deck. That was to be expected. I will gladly trade these two. I'm gonna go with this again, and get a little bit of value going. Trying to set up the Great Henge, while also enabling. Oof, that boy is too thick though. I wanted to discard first. Still concerned about an Embercleave as usual. I could have waited on that land though. Alright, no Embercleave potential right now, which is nice because they need 2 sources of red mana. We may see a giant go down here. And I am very happy with that. Foulmire Knight just saying no. Oh my god, this guy is like secretly MVP. We're close to being able to play the Great Henge here. I actually do want to just drop a forest this time around though, because I want to be able to make 2 plays here. I'm actually gonna tap this first to see what we get. Lands, and then just go Vivian. Nice. Nice. Epic downfall. I actually like Brontodon here again because I'm expecting Embercleave, and that's pretty much it. 5 cards in. What do we take out? I would take out. I mean, Edgewall Innkeeper was really. It's much better here than against Gruul. I mean, even though that's not entirely true. That's not true. They have the same stomp. I'm gonna drop Questing Beast. I'm gonna drop 1 Vivian since I'm on the draw. 1 Great Henge. It's more about staying alive, and maybe I should just take out 2 Edgewall Innkeepers. They're so good though. Honestly, I'm gonna take out a couple of Paradise Druids. Just because I'm focusing less on ramping. Maybe no, the Innkeeper gives me a lot of gas. Can really come into play here. And this hand is pretty solid. We can lead off with the Temple of Milady, and then drop turn 2 Paradise Druid. And we can even potentially like Arcbow Ranger turn 4, but I don't know if that's likely because we'll probably be feeling some pressure at that point. But you know what? One can dream. One can hope. I want to keep that there. Honestly. I can go Paradise Druid and then I can start drawing like crazy. Alright, Javier Dominguez. Incoming Javier. I'm gonna drop a forest and play through it. No blocks. Because if he wants to pump, then he pumps. There's no Embercleave potential right now. Alright, well, we know what that means. We let him discard something, and before he goes to the attack phase, we hunt that down, preventing the Embercleave. Still taking a shitload of damage, but preventing the Embercleave. Very important. That's a big boy hit. But fortunately for us, we do have the means to fire back at him. Now, I would love to go Arcbow Ranger, but I just don't feel like I can justify that line of play right now. I think, if I play Arcbow Ranger, I can pump this up to, I can kill Javier, going -3. Okay, what's my best line of play here? Because he's very close to being able to play Embercleave, but if I clear his board of 1 creature, I think the play is actually Vivian.
I have survived Nico Bolas, and I will survive you. Get him.
Keep this in back. We know he has, like, it's so likely he has Embercleave. Like, he went directly to the attack phase. So by shutting that down, Alright, I am gonna trade this into that though. I can't afford to take another huge hit. And I'd rather keep the Paradise Druid. Even though Innkeeper can. Okay. Good play. Good play by my opponent. Definitely want to drop the Regisaur now. We have to hope for no Murderous Rider. Well, I mean, even if he does have one, then at least, okay, that's good, that's good. That's nice. That's super nice. Woo! Whoo!
My heart beats in unison with the wild.
Omega Rock, baby! Oh, that was clean. That was so clean. Oh my lord, that was, oh, wow, that's fun. I don't tend to, you know, be an enthusiast of the smork culture, but this is one likely deck to convert me. My god, that was so good. I love this list. Like, when I saw this list in the Mythic Championship, like, I loved it. I really liked the idea of just going all in on Vivian Arcbow Ranger, because I've ran into this card prior, but not too much. But the times that I did run into her, she felt extremely powerful. And we may not play Embercleave, right? But our ability to give Rotten Regisaur Trample with the Planeswalker on board is just so nutty. It's awesome that we beat down the other two, like, aggro decks in the metagame right now, right? Like Gruul aggro and Rakdos Embercleave aggro. Like, it's awesome that we actually got queued into those two and we just proclaimed Smork dominance. That was perfect. Oh, I'm hyped up about that. Oh my god, that was so sweet. Alright, I'm going to call it to an end here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. And I said that twice because I am terrible with outros. Love ya. Have a solid day. And I will see you tomorrow.